All right, today we're starting our new series of Medieval Dynasty. We're going to start a new game here and tell you a little bit of the background. It's basically kind of an RPG game where you start off by yourself and start your little medieval dynasty with your house.
I used to have a simple life. Whatever needed doing around the farm, I'd do it. Being the eldest son, it's tough. But at least we had a living, and our plates were never empty. Then, the war came. I lost everything overnight. The last thing I remember is Father pushing me away, yelling for me to run, to live. At first, I didn't know what to do. Then, I remembered. A story my mother once told me. A story about my uncle, Jordan. He made a modest fortune up north, in a peaceful valley far away from the war. For weeks I held on to that thought, until the valley from my mother's stories. I could see it. This is where I can start a new life.
All right, I've got about 3 hours of gameplay in, so I'm not really an expert or anything on this. But we'll get started. We're basically going to start from scratch. It's kind of like one of those typical crafting games you have. You can run a survival crafting type of game. So at the top right now, you've got your orientation for direction. Above it is a tree. That's showing that spring. It's the green one. Down at the bottom left, you have your... let's see. The green bar is stamina. Red bar is health. Orange bar is food. And, man, I cannot remember what the blue bar is. Water. It's water for hydration. Let's see what else here. If you can move using WASD, shift, sprint, of course, and then you go in tab, and that'll give you your detail management. So it has this little tutorial. I'll probably just talk you through it here instead. Your journal, it just kind of gives you an overview of everything you want in here, and then also in the journal is chapters. So these are your active quests, these are your completed, and these are the failed quests because you can fail them. So active quests, this is going to be your main storyline, pretty much, the chapters here. And then you'll have story quests, side quests, and challenges. I haven't seen any challenges yet. I've seen side quests, and I think I've seen story quests, but most of them are the chapters that you're going to deal with. So, and then you can see what the objective is, and then the reward. And at the bottom down here, when you click on the quest, you'll be able to track it. So if you go back here, that yellow mark, it shows you distance and where the quest is. It'll pop up there. Then we also have inventory. So this is everything on your person here. You can only carry a certain amount, which you can increase later with points that you have. So these are like your clothes, your food, your coin. Your coin's also displayed down here. It's a scrollable menu once it gets filled up. Then we go to tools and or weapons. Then this is your clothing items, food, your crafting or crafted items, and then this is like miscellaneous stuff. So it's further subdivided in here. This is where you can drag and drop stuff onto your person as well. And then we have these quick slots where you can assign your items to quick keys. So if I had a torch, I could put it in slot number 1. Then we had the skills I was talking about. So these are the 6 different skill areas. So we've got extraction, which is what you can invest in here. This is like mining, logging, stuff like that, and you can just helps you level. The first level, the extraction knowledge, helps you level up faster, so you can kind of see what it represents. This one's you're going to be your hunting knowledge, your archer and stuff like that, steady hand, right? So you can hold things longer. Then we got farming knowledge. Farming's kind of hard to get up in my opinion, and again, these are different perks. They get unlocked later on, tier 2, tier 3, etc. Tier 4. Then we've got diplomacy, so you do interact with NPCs in the game. You can hire them into your village not really hire them, I suppose, but you can invite them into your village to work for you in different capacities. Here's your survival knowledge. This is going to probably be the one you upgrade immediately the most. And I'm probably going to go to survival knowledge to get that increase. And then this is your crafting knowledge, because you can craft items in the game, obviously, like we talked about earlier. This is the journal. Then this is your overall map here. So map, it's got world information, map filters that you can look at over here. And then this is your current location here in the direction that you're facing. Then you've got your management. So this is what comes later. These are your people that you can have in your village. These are going to be the buildings you have, the fields you have, the animals you have, so you can keep track of your profession, mood, skill, status, etc. And this is how much your village is producing automatically through your people and stuff per hour. So your development will upgrade with the more buildings. Eventually you have to pay taxes. You do get a building limit too at some point. Then you have your technology tree, which you get points from doing certain skill areas. So, for example, research storage, you can get points by cutting down trees, mining rocks, digging clay, completing building construction. And then as soon as you get 50 points, you unlock the shovel. And then once you get 100 points, and so on, all the way down to 1,000. Same with this one. This one's like killing animals and that type of thing. This is your farming, all of that type of stuff. So you can get your food storage building. It unlocks these buildings, by the way, at these levels. And then you've got your crafting menu as well. So it does all of those. So I'll just go ahead. I know that our main quest is down here. So I will run down to the village. Jump over this, because why not? So this means you're getting tired of running, so you got to slow down. On the way, you can collect stuff like on the ground. So when I ran by that plant, I'll show you later, but if you hold E, you can collect a branch. Gives you 3 sticks. Displays it in the left corner there. So we're going to keep running, though, and we're going to talk to the Castellan, whatever, first. Castellan? I don't know if I pronounced that right. He's in here in this little inn, I believe. Where is he? Oh, here he is. Mood gas. So you're going to talk to this guy a lot. So we're going to have a conversation. You can use the 1 or 2 key, or 3 or 4, depending. Hey, stranger, what brings you to our valley? You don't look like a merchant or pilgrim. I'm going to say, I'm not. Rastimir's my name, and I came from the south looking for my uncle Eden. In his old home, they called him Eden the Craftsman. Eden? Ah, yes, he told me once about his life on the river. You came to the right place, but a few years too late, I'm afraid. Why is that? What happened to my uncle? He was a great man and even better friend, Rastimir. As a good craftsman and excellent trader, he made a small fortune here. See the tavern over there? He built and ran it as well as many other shops you'll find in the valley. My mother told me he got wealthy in the north, but I had no idea how wealthy, but that doesn't answer my question. Your uncle got himself killed, my friend. He had this idea of a huge trade with the German kingdom in the west. 5 carts filled with the best iron ore, beautiful colored linen, and excellent beer, pulled by 10 oxen who's not fooling around, I can tell you that. So what happened? How'd he die? He was ambushed by bandits, his carters slaughtered. He must have put up a good fight. Took 2 with him to death from what we saw when we searched for him. Buried him myself, or better, what the wolves left behind. Sorry to be the bearer of such bad news. Uncle's dead, his wealth is gone, I came all the way here for nothing? Don't say that. I wouldn't let a nephew of Jordan go to waste. And even if most villagers forget fast what they owe your uncle, I have no intention to join them here. I am the Castellan, and my word carries weight, so tell me, can you build your own fortune? You can craft simple tools, I can craft my necessities from the wilderness, and I know how to count into barter. That's good enough. I mean, I have the goods or gold to offer, but I can give you as much land here as you want. Not sold, but granted to you for life. Build a house, grow vegetables, keep some livestock. Follow your dream. Are you serious? As much as you can basically, you can have as much land as you want, as long as you pay your taxes. Some advice: cut down trees to build your house. Reeds grow by the river. It will work well for a roof. And do you have food? Not much. If necessary, you can find vendors in the village. If you don't have any money for food, you can always look for mushrooms in the forest or hunt animals. Maybe I can earn some coin. Sure, you can talk to people in other villages. Or here, maybe someone will pay you for your help. Thank you so much for the advice. It's time to find the right place. Let's see, I have something special for you. It's a hammer that your uncle used to build the house in which he grew old. What better tool could you use to build your first home here? Thank you very much. See you next time. Alright, so this kind of went over your menu here. So tab for your menu, Q is where you can do your construction, and then L Alt for your inspector mode. We'll cover that a little bit more later here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the map here, and we're going to pick out a place to live. And as you can see, a lot of the villages, these are the two main ones we'll probably interact with most, but there's other ones around here. So I'm thinking we'll probably build our little burrow or something down in this area. So we'll head out of town that way, and we'll start building our house. Because that way it's kind of in a more central location. Make sure we're going the right direction here. If we go on the map, it points us that way. So we get a little bit of ways to go down the road. While we're going, we can collect some things, and this will give those points I was talking about earlier to help us upgrade our level. So you can find sticks and stuff on the ground. One of the things that I found hardest to find is rocks. I know it seems silly, but there's just not a lot of rocks laying around. So it's pretty hard to find those. This is a broadleaf plantain. So some of the... Here's a rock. Excellent. Right after I said it. So some things are harder to find than others, and also some things actually have like effects in the game. So like you have health points. So if I go into my inventory here, if we go to the food, this broadleaf plantain will give you back 10 health. And so they also have this thing called St. John's wort, which will give you poison resistance and that type of thing. And then berries. So these are unripe berries, so you should not eat them because it will give you the poison, food poisoning. However, if you're in a pinch, you can consume them. And then since we're standing here, let me show you the inspector mode. So this is what it looks like. If you could see something, it would light up in a bright yellow. And that would display something you could interact with, like a stick, or most of the time it'll be like St. John's wort or the plantains. They're still adding stuff in this game. The developer seems to be doing a good job as addressing complaints that people are having, at least from what I've heard. So honestly, I haven't had the same hangups that it seems that other people have. So I've had a pretty good start in what I've done in this game. But anyway, we're going to probably put down our roots over here, I think in this forest across from the bridge. So there'll be a nice access point. It's a little intersection here. So we're going to build something. We're going to press Q. And then this gives our crafting building others like traps, campfires, fences, furniture. Then we've got our crafting, which you can build like an axe, which we'll need to do when we collect this stuff for, which is why we were collecting it. And we will craft one of those. So we can cut down trees. If you look to the right under our, if we go in our journal here, a new beginning that now says the thing. So we collected the number of sticks, rocks, and axe. So we need to cut down 5 trees, get enough straw, and build our house. So we're going to go to Q. We're going to go to the building section. Select houses. Look at small house. To start one, you need 6 logs. So trees, actually before we get into that, I'm going to go here. I'm going to take my wooden hammer, assign it to the first slot, and my stone axe, and assign it to the second. So I'm going to pull out my axe here, and I'm going to start cutting. I would like to point out that different types of trees yield different amounts of wood. And every time you cut down a tree, it'll fall over, and then you got to axe it another time. And they'll give you sticks, as you see, 9 sticks for this particular tree. And then the logs sit on the ground. So these maple trees will give you typically 4 logs, I believe. And then if you cut down the white birch tree, they only give you 3. So it's not quite as worthwhile for you to do that. Also, if you look, it costs stamina to swing your axe, which makes sense. And then also, you can see that our water, the blue bar, is going down, as well as the hunger bar, which is the orange one. So that's we'll have to take care of that in a little bit. I'll show you another little thing about what happens when you get over encumbered. So we'll cut down another tree, so I can show you that. Put the fall down here. It is possible to die in this game, by the way. So that symbol down with the weight, that's your over encumbrance, which means you're no longer able to use shift to sprint. And if you become way too encumbered, you'll basically not be able to move. You'll have to just drop stuff. So I think we're just gonna waddle over here with our too much stuff, and we'll build actually our house like right here. Except I want it to face the roadway. So I'm just gonna flip around. Get over here. Build it right here, I think. So Q, crafting, oh, Q, building, houses, simple house. Then you can press Q and E to rotate the house. But we had it the right way. You can see the door right there. I'm going to place it right here. Alright, so in order to build on something, when you have your hammer out, you put it away, the building thing disappears. When you have it out, your building lights up. And then if you face a wall, you can edit the composition. So you can put in a window or a door or what type. So you can do a stone wall or a log wall. So we might do log walls because it requires that we do more work, and I think I'm okay with that. Wood wall with window, because it means that we're going to get more points anyway, which is ideal. We want more points so we can upgrade our person and their effectiveness faster. So I think we have everything wood now. Wood with window, wood wall, and then we're going to do thatch roof. We're going to do a wooden roof as well. So this is going to require a lot of work. So I will probably do some of this off screen later, but we'll get some of it done here. At the very least, we can do the door. All right. So we'll go outside. I'll cut down a couple more trees. So as you saw over here, these are the birch ones. And so you saw the other ones had about 4 logs that came out of it. I'll show you how much comes out of a birch tree. Maybe it's only like 3. It's not nearly as worthwhile. Also, if you look at the bottom right where the axe is, it displays a little circle that's filled up, and it's going down because that's the durability of your axe, or whatever item is equipped in that slot. I would like to also point out that the sticks will hold you down. They're heavy. They will help you become encumbered, so you got to be careful. Not having too many of those. You can drop them on the ground at some point. You can just run out here and drink the water. So they have a water skin, so if you're not near the river later, you can just drink out of that. But there was a reason I chose to be near the river, and this was it. You're gonna get thirsty. So, and then I'll show you how to eat after I cut down a couple more trees. Wants us to collect some straw, but I changed the house type, so it's not actually necessary for this house, but we'll do it anyway to fulfill that quest, because otherwise we won't be able to progress to the next one. So see, these have 3, 4 logs here, and I guess the birch actually only had 2, which is not nearly as good. So that's not fantastic, but it is what it is. And one of the later quests in the game, you're gonna have to do some work for a guy up north and pick up I believe it's like 40 logs, and that would be a hassle if you don't use the regular, what are these, maple trees? Something like that. Let's see. Yeah, maple trees. So, all right, let's go in the inventory, and I will show you the system for eating. So each item has a weight, obviously a price you can sell it, a condition. So like your meat over time will lose its condition. It won't be, I don't think it decreases the nutrition or anything, it just loses condition. And this is how much nutrition you get out of it. So if you look down, I'm at 63 out of 100 nutrition here. So if I eat, 45 would be a little overkill. So we'll just eat some dried meat. We've got a bunch of them. So you can just press F, eat them up, and we'll refill up to, 98, almost 100 there. And then we'll go back to work I think what we're going to do is we're going to find us some straw. Well, actually, we're going to pick these mushrooms for food later. They only give it like 1 nutrition, but they're kind of abundant, especially in the summer. Another rock, that's good. I hate having to find rocks. They're so hard to find. Actually, will that... I won't. I'll have to show you that later on. Because I don't have the perk allocated for it. So somewhere along the river here, there will be some reeds. Yep, right here. So these are what we're going to need. Oh, not water. Come on. Need some reeds. Interesting. Why is it not letting me? I think I've confused myself here. Go across the river and see if I can get reeds from the other side. Because once you pull the reeds out of the river, it gives you straw, is what it ends up with. So I need to pull 20 of them and get my 20 straw. I don't know how many it actually gives per reed. It might be a couple straw. I'm not sure. So go over here real quick. I know you can pull these because I've built over here before. I just wanted to do something a little different. Yeah, so these reeds you can collect, and you know, 1 straw for that one, 1 straw, etc. Oh, 2 straw. So I guess it's kind of changes. It's not consistent in that regards. But we see we have 13 because it's counting for us. It doesn't normally count for us. It's just because it's a quest. So we'll just go ahead and keep collecting these. We got 20, so they just need to complete the house, which we don't actually need any straws for. We just need trees. Equip that axe on the way over. And then, actually, I think we're going to... We have access to trap. We do a rabbit trap. So these, they cost like 10 sticks. Throw it on the ground, it'll catch a rabbit. I don't know how often it catches it. You have to go over there, grab a rabbit, reset the trap. It's good for several uses, but eventually it will deteriorate, so you won't be able to use it anymore. So no big deal with that. There's other different types of trap. There's a limit to how many traps you can have. I don't know what the limit is, but it seems to me that you're only allowed to have 1 of each type at a time. There's a bird trap, a fish trap, and a rabbit trap. Come on. Don't really care about the sticks. There we go. No, they're birch trees, so they don't yield as much resources, but they're kind of in the area that I'll end up building more stuff later on. Because I want to put the resident entrance. So, okay, cool. We got a level up. I was hoping this would happen before we ended for the day. So we got a level up in extraction, this category. So we get a talent point to spend. So we can either spend it on 5% master or faster mining or digging, or 5% faster logging, or 1 more skill point from extraction activity. So every time you like cut down a tree, you might get 1 skill point or something like that. Instead of just getting 1 skill point, we're going to get 2 or so. I don't really know how many you get per activity. But I like the idea of being able to level up faster, so I'm going to press F to increase the level, and now I'll be able to level up faster. This is how many skill points you have till the next point. So 250, 100, 100, 100. So after you get 100 points, it looks like you need 150 or 250, and it increases the amount that you're going to need. Well, we're going to call it a day there. So thank you for joining me. In the next episode, I'll have the house finished, and we'll look at seeing what we do next. Oh, before we go, I guess I'll show you what the rewards for building a house will be. We'll get a development status camp, which will allow us to have more buildings. So, all right, thanks. Have a good one.